How you feel about waiting, doggo? All right. Here there. Do 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 do. Walk the pooch. Got my coffee. Now we just wait for a doggo. A doggo to be walking home. Or say the doggos. Get me and the doggo. The human doggo and the doggo doggo. I swear, if you're, oh my god, really? No, not here, not there. No, stop it. No. I don't have anything. Why do you have to sniff every little bush? Check out every little thing. Man, you're ridiculous. Not every bush needs to be sniffed. I mean, how many times have you walked this area? You're trying to sniff that bush too? A bush of hawk over here. Should it start raining? That's great. That's just great. I love that. Say doggo. Who's a good doggo? Seriously? Who is a silly doggo? Your neighbor's doggo chicken's over here. Just hanging out. And she don't care if it's a she ain't right now. Man, I know it's supposed to be cold, but it actually feels a little warm at the moment. And then it's gonna be like fucking freezing and all sorts of crazy shit. Alright, dog. Come on. Fucking bullshit off me. What? Too many layers. Even though I'm only wearing 2. Come on, Zooks. Come on, bud. Come on. Oh, you lazy, slow little thing. There we go. Thanks. Alright. Stan's leaving. Think fuck, didn't lock the door yet. Alright, meep meep. Yeah, me. Grab the coffee before I'm going to work. Alright. Here's Shirley, a little pull-up. Alright.
Ready for our major snowstorm?
Well, I was looking at the forecast. It's going to be going on for like over 24 hours at least. Like, it's going to, like, from like Friday at like noon to like Saturday at like 3 or 4, it's going to be constantly snowing. So, yeah, I mean, I expect it to be a little tense. Yeah. At least for Oregon standards.
Yeah. Get like 2 feet of snow by Montana standards, it's nothing. You can't see the front of the hood of your car.
Well, it means a slow work weekend for me, so I don't give a fuck. That means I'll probably be like one of the very few people going to the bar for karaoke too. I don't think most people are going to be going out in that shit. So that means a lot of karaoke time for me. Probably.
You'll have a fun day at work.
Well, today is also probably going to be worse because everyone's preparing for, the snowstorm coming in. So everyone's going to be coming in today versus like tomorrow or Saturday or something. There we go. And because of where I work, I don't really need to worry about that. Oof. Oh. Man. My back's got to feel it a little bit. I can tell there's like a little stiffness in the middle there, and I can't quite get to it yet. So, I'm going to get myself loosened up. Do. On YouTube. Pull up some music. There we go. Oh, that's loud. Just a little bit. There we go. One more notch. There we go. And load that bad boy up. And shaboom. There we go. Alrighty. I don't really have like any paper towel because my nose is driving me fucking nuts today. It's like, I don't got anything. I have nothing to blow my nose out with. Need like some Kleenexes over here or some shit. Need them for like cleaning, this bowl every now and then. Need them for my fucking nose. It's like, ay. Ooh, a little harsh. Ooh, oh, YouTube being big. That's great. Okay. There we go. Yeah, let's just go off for a tube for today. Let's see. You know, I also, I don't think there's any, like, clip or any video or anything yet, but I'm like Marjorie Taylor Greene is really showing herself off again. Like, she went up to Congress again to show more Hunter Biden dick pics and fucking freaking out over that again. I'm convinced that she has a crush on Hunter Biden. Like, you don't... Like, the first time, you just looked like a crazy Republican freako. The second time you've done this now, it just makes me think, you got a crush on him. MTG got a crush on the HB dude, the Hunter Biden. In his fucking absurd pose. I love it. Did you leave him outside?
Yeah, I did the door, so you can't get out the gate. You can come in if you want. What are you doing?
Little turd, what were you doing? Oh, he already was out. I gave him a walk. Did his business and all that. So, whatever. Guess he just wants to hang out there. I just find it so silly that Marjorie Taylor Greene is just so obsessed over the Palooza, dude. I just love it, honestly. I just find it amusing now at this point. It was like one thing when the first time it happened because it was just kind of shocking. Because it didn't, think that she would go out of her way to, do that. But now it's, twice over. Like, this is she's a repeat opportunity offender on this now. And that really legit just makes me wholeheartedly convinced that, yeah, she wants that Biden dick, dude. What is with these, MAGA chicks that are just, legit fucking, freaks a little bit? I just don't mean, right-wing freaks, but you could just, tell that they're, sexual freaks a little bit. Between Bobo and MTG, I mean, there's definitely, a little bit of an overlap with, freakiness, so to speak. I feel like Bobo's a lot more freaky, so to speak, in comparison, because she's way more willing to just, jerk you off in a theater or some shit. I mean, MTG hasn't had that yet. So, I mean, what are you getting into? So if anything, at least, for, Bobo, she's definitely, I think, unequivocally so far the biggest freak. But... oh my goodness, MTG is certainly getting up there. Especially with this weird, obsession over Hunter Biden. It's my goodness. I mean, over, what? It's because he fucked a prostitute and smoked crack. I mean, for me, it's okay, whatever. That's the least concerning thing that, a son of a politician or anyone related to politics has ever done. If anything, I kind of expect that. I kind of expect these politicians and, people related to them and their families and shit to be kind of, into doing crazy shit like that every now and then. There you go. Man. It's bullshit, right at the tip of my nose, and it's driving me nuts. I can't get rid of it. I know if I try to blow it out, it's just going to go everywhere, and it's not going to be pretty. I have nothing to contain it with. I literally got another motherfucker. What the fuck? He's just obsessed with those little pork buns. When I went to grab my coffee, he straight up like jumped and leaped like to the counter when he saw and smelt that pork bun, going in that little bag. There's actually 2 of them in there, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he's, going to try to sneak in for the other ones because he knows. But maybe he'll be content with that for now. He's a good boy. He's just a little good fluff. He's got a lot of pop. Well, that's you. He's looking at me expecting, more treats. And it's not happening. At least not for now. I might get you the other pork bun in a minute. Just not for now. You can wait. He could be a patient little boy. What the hell? Are you still squirming around trying to see if you can get one more pork bun out of me? It's not happening yet. Jeez. What a goof. What a goof. Vosh put his 2 takes on the Nazis in Italy. Curiously enough, he has this video about the same length as the song clip I saw from the other day on this. Is now making more waves. Because honestly, I won't be surprised if there's honestly a little bit more information about it where it's way fucking worse. I mean, honestly, I'm still fucking shocked at that clip. Just Italians basically just reviving the fascist Italy. It's what? I mean, when I first was hearing about it, I was like, you know what? Can we just do Operation Italian Freedom, Operation Release the Alfredo? Because holy shit, it's already bad enough that they're in the U.S. and Hungary and Russia and shit, but it's and kind of rising a little bit in Germany, but at least Germany knows how to fucking deal with them. And I guess a little bit in France, but not really as much. So, I mean, and in the UK too. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's all over the place. In Argentina too, we gotta add that to the list. Because of that unironically, clinically unhinged, insane fuck that's running that country now. It's either these fucking Nazis are on our at least when it comes to their leaders, either look like they're legit the most unhinged psychopaths or just the most demonic looking fucking vampiric ghouls ever. Because the fucking fascist leader of Italy right now is straight up she looks like a fucking vampiric ghoul for Fallout or something. Straight up. She looks like a ghoul that didn't go quite feral yet. It's just what the fuck, dude. It's ay. I mean, there's something about being a horrendously horrible piece of shit that just really makes you look like a vampiric ghoul. And just really ugly and fucking just a disgusting looking person. I mean, because I really do kind of think that a little bit. I mean, there's kind of a reason why they had Palpatine look like, an old decrepit, and shit, because that is kind of is a little reminiscent to reality to an extent, I would argue. I mean, because look at even some of the more horrendous leaders in power and shit before. It's they're not exactly the most handsomest looking dudes. Arguably the only one that probably would be a Stalin, but I think it's just because of his fucking mustache. And honestly, he looked way more handsome and way more attractive looking in his younger years, in his 20s and shit, in comparison to when he was a leader. So I still think it holds true even for that motherfucker. Because I mean, honestly, if you look at Stalin when he's 20 versus when he's at the height of his power after World War II or some shit, there's a major fucking difference. And frankly, older Stalin does not look nowhere near as attractive in comparison to young Stalin. So I still think it holds true even for him. It's like something about being an evil piece of shit, just like that. It doesn't like necessarily age you. It just like makes you. It just like wrinkles you up, makes you look Palpatine-esque, and just you can just tell you're like an evil piece of shit. It's like at a certain point you just notice it. And it's not aging. Like I know it's that I know that much for a fucking fact, because like some of these like leaders, when they take power, they're not necessarily like old people and shit. Like Stalin, when he took power, he wasn't like 70 or some shit. So it's like they're they're definitely kind of like pretty spry younger adults and shit by the time some of these people get into power. And like within less than a decade, even it's like there's like a significant fucking change in them. I also don't think it's just the stress of running a country, because there's definitely been people who can run a country and stuff like that after a while and still look relatively the same, outside of maybe like gray hairs and looking a little older. So to me, it's not just like the virtue of like, oh well, they just have to run a country or this and that. And like, no, there's something about being like a decrepit, horrible piece of fucking garbage to your fellow man that does something to you. It just makes you look like just like a villainous fuck. I suppose it's probably like one of my few superstitious beliefs, I guess. I mean, because like, honestly, I guess to a certain extent, it is a little superstitious. It's like there's like an energy that like an evil energy that could like just change you a little bit. I mean, definitely seems a little superstitious, but frankly, I mean, when I see like like these different like leaders and shit that are just overtly staunchly way more right leaning or just overtly fascist shit in comparison to even like centrist liberal types. To me, I think I look at these motherfuckers and I'm like, you can just tell they're crazy or fucking evil or just a horrible piece of shit. It's like you can just look at a motherfucker sometimes and be like, you're a horrible person. And it's like with like the leader of Argentina, for example, or like the current leader in Italy, or Trump, for another example. It's like, I mean, there's just something about the looks of these motherfuckers that are just like, you're a piece of trash. And it's like, sometimes you can't quite put your finger on it, but sometimes you definitely can. Especially when it comes to, like, world leaders, it's kind of obvious, because, like, I mean, a lot of that's reflective of, like, their policies and what they advocate for and what they say, and what they do. So, I mean, but when it comes to the average person, and it's, sometimes you just can't quite put the hand on it. It's like, something off about this guy. Also, I feel like at least in some part of it, it's definitely like this, a repressive nature in them. Because I kind of feel like, there's like a part of these people that are fine, but because of like, this hyper repressive, puritanical, like, broader right wing, like philosophy that a lot of conservatives and like religious sects have and shit, it kind of like enforces this like angst and insecurity and frankly more destructive thinking when it comes to suppressing and like withholding like alternative aspects of expression that one might have, and like in any form of that type of stuff is like utterly verboten. So it's like once that's translated, especially into politics, it just ends up being a very destructive idea and mindset. So I know a lot of it comes from that for sure, but for some of these motherfuckers, it's because they're just fucking insane. Like, I mean, the guy in Argentina, like, what was this, like, Juliano Musley or something like that, or Musley, or something, I forgot exactly what his name is, but, like, I don't think he's just, like, just, like, an actual horrible piece of shit. I just think he's legitimately fucking unhinged and psychopathic, like, medically insane. Like, I think that dude is unironically probably medically insane. And how he got power, I don't fucking know. Like, but that dude is, like, I don't think he really has any cohesive politics at all. I think he's just straight up insane. Like, I don't think he has, like, a sound, reasonable, logical neuron in his brain to save his fucking life. And some people are just like that, where it's like, you're just fucking crazy. You shouldn't be anywhere near power or anything like that.
My observation is most people don't have a neurological brain in their head.
I mean, sure, but I'm talking more exceptional in this case. Like, there's like, you know, a certain exceptionability of someone being like, just maybe like dumb, but then there's like a level of it where it's like they're legitimately just like psychopathically unhinged. Like I'm talking about the leader of Argentina, because that guy is legitimately like that dude literally thinks that his dog, which he's cloned 8 times, you know, like his, you know, he has like a dog that he like, you know, was obsessed with, and when his dog died, he thought it like, you know, was still like alive in spirit and like, you know, and reincarnated in these clones that he made of his dog, not just one, but like 8 of them, and like also, and like, you know, sees him as like his at least like as one of his close advisors, and also like has like this weird ANCAP superhero thing that he does sometimes. Like the dude is legitimately fucking insane. Like I don't think he has any cohesive anything, you know, in his brain, you know, outside of just like, I want power because I'm crazy. I love, you know, the solipsism that I'm having in the world or some shit. I don't know. Like, the dude is just unhinged.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
I heard about the clone dog, but I've known he's kind of unhinged.
Yeah, well, I mean, the clone dog thing is kind of a little bit of a meme, but it's true, though. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I mean, if you look it up, I'm being serious. I mean, because there was, like, at least one article that said he did it, like, you know, he cloned his dog, like, 5 times, and there was like another one that said like 8, you know, another one that said 6. So I don't know how many times he did it, but he certainly did it at least like 5 times. I mean, that's the lowest number. So he's done it at least 5 times. So that means there's at least like 6 clones of his dog running around, and some of them are his advisors. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, there was at one point where, I'm not even kidding, like, there's like a news, there was like a news interview that he was doing in Argentina, and a picture of him and his dog, like, popped up on the screen. You know how they have those screens, you know, in that room where, you know, like, they're showing, like, the different little slideshows or whatever the fuck in these newsrooms when they're talking to somebody. He literally looked over, and he was, like, in the middle of talking about something. He looked over and noticed him and his dog, and he just got immediately distracted. It's like, oh, my dog, oh, isn't he so great? And just, like, literally just, like, got obsessively fixated on it. It just completely, like, devolved and just, like, railroaded the whole, like, thing. And for, like, 2 minutes was just like, oh, my dog, oh. You know, and news report was just like, okay. But how do you feel about... okay. It's like, just like, well, I guess this is happening.
Cloning you get glitches. You know, where one DNA molecule will not clone right.
Well, I would assume it depends on how it's done.
It doesn't.
I mean, I'm assuming to do it correctly, you would still have